Hello, everybody in the world of the internet. Welcome back to another episode of Ash and Blood. Now, as we left off last time, our friend Olim was standing waiting to fight a new champion in the Arena of Kings. Now, as you can see, friend Olim is not on the screen right now, but he is in the fiction, and so we shall continue on forth with the scene. In this Arena of Kings, there's a sort of matchup between two groups. One is the party members that you see here, along with two allies. One, Izindo, the local blacksmith, and his daughter Bibi, a young magic user who has high ideals and even higher goals. The other party members, sorry, not the party members, the other arena members are the chief of the village and his group of lackeys who find themselves enraged at Basilar for some words and some actions that he's done in the past couple days. This is not necessarily a fight to the death, although all fights could potentially lead to death, even if it is not meant to be so. However, for the moment, in between two fights, you see Olim is sizing up the woman across from him. She's got brown skin, very loose fitting clothing, loose materials kind of coming off at the waist, at the ankles, at the knees. Layers of light clothing, but many layers. And she's got very thin compared to the hair that you've seen in this region, wavy, straight in some parts, very silky hair. And there's just something about her features that ticks you off, that she not ticks you off. It shows you that she is likely not of the region. And her face, it has this look of apprehension. She seemed like she was being pushed forward, the way she was even walking was as if something was pushing her forth. And she refuses to make eye contact with Olim, who is doing that angry penguin stare directly at her, sizing her up. And the rest of you kind of have a moment to gather some sort of information if you wish. In these few moments of silence,
I wish.
Okay.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Let's go with the nameless one.
Is this a discern reality?
What are you trying to do?
Well, I think in this moment I want to. What? Olim's staring this lady down. I think I'm going to trust Olim, and I am going to take a look at Nazu and see what's going on there. How does he feel about, I think, one of his warriors being defeated?
Okay.
I think he took very little casualties, I think, as well.
Right off the bat, I'll tell you, he's staring at Basilar still. Determination and anger mixed across his face. I'll give you that for free, and you can roll a discern realities to find out a little more. That is
I got a 12. I got a dirty 12.
Ooh. Okay. 10 plus, you can ask me 3 questions. Take +1 forward when acting on the answers. So,
cheers.
Oh, God.
Oh.
Am I full? Oh,
yeah. Thank you.
Much appreciated.
Hold on. My water was cooling.
Quench that wench.
Oh, I like that.
Are we the wenches?
We're all wenches, yeah.
Okay. So
The wench.
I think what I would like to ask first about is what should I be on the lookout for? I think that's a really good one. Kind of maybe what's his tell right now?
Mm-hmm. You've seen a lot of him over the past. Well, not a lot. You've seen enough of him over the past, perhaps 36 hours. Mm-hmm. He generally seems calm and like self-confident when he's not in battle. And there's kind of no in between of that and like the rage that he seems to display at Basilar ever since the little incident with the diss track. And I think you still see him in that raged state, but he is very still. And so you think that like all of his energy is put into not acting on the rage that's boiling inside of him. And so any movement from him likely is him releasing that hold and about to take out that anger on something or someone in his vicinity. And so as long as he's like he's still a danger, but he's kind of like on pause. But any sign of movement to you should indicate something bad's about to happen.
Okay, so I'm on the guard a bit for that. I think Basilar is here. I'll just kind of like whisper to Basilar, you can take advantage of his rage. Seems not to have dissipated at all.
I think so. I'm pretty sure I can. Hope I can. He looks angry.
Just like pat you on the back as I sweep my gaze through. And what here is not what it appears to be. I think is a very interesting question and I would I think my gaze like sweeps over the crowd a little bit. And I think I'm looking for the relation between like what's going on right now and Nazu.
Okay. So you sweep the crowd, you sweep the people in front of you. There seems to be a lot of scared people. There's no smiles on faces, and there's no people like nodding off. Like there's a big crowd of people. There's going to be an array of different emotions, but for the most part, everyone you see here is looking either at Nazu or at you guys. They don't seem to be too concerned with his lackeys. Maybe that's like a lack of respect for their power. But the nervousness is like, it's very much directed at him and then looking to you, and their faces maybe like softened a little of like with like hope that you're standing in front of him. But when you look at the person who's engaged in combat, and you look at how like their eyes are unable to meet Olim's, there's like a little firework of very dull lights like in the eyes, and they're not glowing any color like you've seen from other people, but there's like and it's hard to discern. It's like a darkish color. You don't know if it's like a red or a purple or a brown, but it's very hard to see. But just because you're tuned in on that non-natural 12, there's some sort of magical effect that's like exploding behind her eyes, and so you think that she's under some sort of effect. It's not a natural light coming through. It's like it's something that's fighting its way, and it's coming through her eyes.
Okay. Interesting. So the raging Nazu, the affected silky hair lady, foreign silky hair lady, and I think lastly, what here? What here? Whew, man, these are so difficult. Should I double down on the lady or should I double down on the crowd? I'm gonna double down on the crowd. Who's really in control here? Is the final question, and I think I'm witnessing the crowd being a little bit uneasy. I'm witnessing the raging Nazu. There's a lot on display here. And when we came in, there was a lot of cheering. Like there's, Basilar is kind of like, there's twinges of hope. So what's the power dynamic?
I think you look No, I know you look at everyone around you, and you realize that even though there is a power dynamic between the crowd and Chief Nasu, and perhaps it feels like there is one between you and him, the power truly rests in your hands here, because there's a crowd that is reactive and that is willing to be on your side, but scared to be on your side too early and face the repercussions of opposing the chief. The chief is extremely reactive. He's not in whatever power he has. He's like barely able to control his own emotions right now, and that's not a position someone in power wants to be in. But you are all pretty well composed, prepared. You've been talked through. You've been given items, and you've consumed some magical fruits or some magical herbs. And so, like, I'm not saying Nazu is powerless, but truly you can change the tides with your actions here, both of the crowd and of the chief, of his lackeys, and of hope itself.
Okay. And I think so. I have next to me. So Olim is up there, which means that Pikinu and Basilar are next to me,
Mhm.
and there's also the other dude. What's his name?
Is it?
Kumbo is the new party member off on
Kumbo.
the side.
Yeah.
Kumbo over here. And then, yeah, Izindo and his daughter Bibi are both next to you.
Yeah, and Izindo and DT here. So I think, I don't know why I'm so far over here. I probably, as Olim is kind of drawing the attention a little bit, I do want to, like, loud enough that we will hear, but maybe no one else. And I just want to say, we must make a spectacle of this defeat. The crowd will be on our side. They love Basilar, and so we will beat them. We will show that we are the ones who are in control, that they are the ones who are in control. So loud, flashy. Seems that is the way.
Beautiful. Any response to the nameless one?
I think we still have to do some work to bring them over to our side. Right now, fear is ruling them. I think we gotta do a bit more work to have them overcome that fear themselves.
Agreed.
We can
And
continue
I'm
to
going
best
to-
them.
I'd like put my hand on you, Bikinu, nod. I will do what I can to hype this up while Olim battles. Perhaps we should all pitch in. And I think as Olim gets ready to fight, I want to kind of like almost like walk by the stands and try to encourage the crowd a little bit. Cheer for Olim! Fuck. Do I know what he is? Is he like Birdkin? Would I know that?
I don't think it's been in the canon of the world. There hasn't been given a name. They just call him like Avian Lake or Birdman or something.
I mean,
like
that's probably what I'll say. Like the Beastkin, the Birdkin, the Black
Truly
Raven.
cheers.
Ooh, another
Cheers for
water.
Olim.
Cheers for Olim. Cheers for Olim.
Drink long. Drink.
Cheers for
I'll go up
Olim!
behind Olim, go, friend Olim, you've got this. Stand up straighter, and I'll sort of position himself into a better fighting position.
I will ask you, nameless one. Two options. Parlay. So you can, you have hope within your grasp. It's up to you, to realize it. And so you're kind of like, using that as leverage with the crowd of like, we need you to support us as we attempt to do this, to potentially free you. Or you can do this in a way where you're trying to, and this is a mechanic we haven't done. It's supposed to be during downtime, but there's such a little option. So recruit somebody from the crowd. So rather than like affecting the whole crowd, maybe you're looking for somebody who your words will kind of turn and they will present themselves as an ally to you.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm looking to recruit somebody. How does this work?
Wonderful. When you put out word that you're looking to hire help, roll. If you make it known that your pay is generous, you can take 1 to the roll. If you make it known what you're setting out to do, take 1. If you make it known that they'll get a share of whatever you find, take +1. I would argue you're making it known what you're setting out to do. You can make an argument for a couple of the other ones if you wish.
Well, what I would like to do, let me know how this can affect me. Right? I still have my Moth to the Flame ability.
Mm-hmm.
So this is, I'm going to tempt a mind with my inner fire. So what I would like to do is tempt somebody and then potentially recruit them to go through the crowd.
Hot.
So I don't know if you want me to only do the recruit roll, but maybe just add a +1 that way, or roll here to try and get that +1.
Like a moth to the flame. Oh yeah, the weak mind one.
Yes.
You know what? We'll let you roll with wisdom and +1. But the
for recruit.
failure might be a little. Yeah, but for recruitment, because unless you actually want to suppress their will, and do what you want.
No, I'm not trying to suppress their will.
Okay. So yeah, we'll follow the recruit words, but you can add your wisdom from the moth to the flame.
Perfect. And then do I also get the +1 ongoing from my discern realities?
Yes. So that's +2 plus wisdom.
+2 to this roll.
But if you fail, there's a lot more being used. So the consequences could be.
The reasoning for this right now, while I look for my dice, they're all put away from the other day.
Oh yeah.
The reasoning for this right now is that I don't want to use charisma because I'm pretty sure my charisma is poo-poo. You haven't given it to me yet, but I'm doing everything I can not to use it. And so I think in this moment, that fire is kind of like, I'm putting on a little bit of a show. Maybe there's like a couple of sparks that come out, and really is like the way to like tunnel into somebody. It's like I pick somebody who looks like, they would make a good person to walk around in these stands. And I use that magic to almost like talk to them directly. So we're making this more magical.
Okay. I will remind you. Now, you don't know the exact wording of the law, but using magic in this arena is forbidden. You do think that it's just in combat, but
yeah,
you're not quite too sure.
You already told me I have all the power here, so. Wait, I found some dice. 2d6. One's a 4.
Okay. That's good, actually.
And a 2. So that would have been a 6, and instead is an 8.
A 6. +1 for your wisdom? Oh, wait. 4 and 2 plus wisdom +2.
Yeah, 4, 2 plus 2. No, like +2 plus wisdom. I didn't add for wisdom.
Yeah.
So that's a 9.
Wisdom. Wonderful. Okay. On a 7 to 9 for this new move. Let me review.
Can I? No.
What?
No, it's okay. I'm gonna save it.
All right. Da, 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 da. On a 7 to 9, you'll have to settle for someone close or turn them away. Okay, so you're not getting, pick the litter here. You're getting the closest person to you. So why don't you move on the map? Show me where you're standing.
Can I narrate this a little bit? Or
Yeah,
I kind of
sure.
I walk past everyone. I kind of like talk to the party, go, and then I try to drum some stuff up, and I get like over here, maybe like, yeah, somewhere like right over here,
Mhm.
and I'm doing this magic thing of almost like and I see like a handsome man. He's got a little bit of gray in his beard. I'm like, someone experienced. Like they're gonna listen to this person, and right when my magic kind of goes off to like talk to them and be like, spread the word of like Olin will win and not like Nazu will fall, and someone like maybe a guy with a beer or something just like stands up in the way, and so I'm talking to him instead.
Yes, I love it. And he goes to take a swig of his beer, and then he stops, and it goes down his beard onto his belly. He looks down at you, and he gives you this big grin with missing teeth. And he says, "Oh, it's been a while since I've been in that arena. I thought I'd see my last days down there, but if you need me." Then he like slams the beer against his chest, and it breaks little pieces embedded in his chest. Fuck. I will help you. I will be your ally.
Rally the crowd.
Come on, everyone. And like spits beer on people. Oh, God. Ugh. But you see, like he's a pretty big stature, and when he turns, you see like the muscles on his back are maybe not defined, but enlarged, engorged. And he sticks his chest out, and a couple pieces of glass pop out of his chest. Come on, everyone. Are we just going to sit here and watch? Or are we going to have faith in these newcomers to bring change? Most of like the crowd that's not around him is kind of just like looking at you still, kind of looking at him. But everyone in this area seems to be bolstered, and they clap, not too heavily as nothing has happened yet, but then they sit with like their hands on their knees, and they watch with purpose. No longer fear in their eyes, but they're just waiting for what they hope is going to happen.
So I think I walk back and forth, kind of like trying to cheer, as Olam does his thing.
And you see the guy gets out of his seat, and he like taps some people on the shoulder, hits them on the shin, like come on, get up. And he starts to bolster the crowd a little bit. You, my friend Basilar, you hear and see all this. What's going through your mind?
So I'm still kind of like glancing over at Nazu,
Mm-hmm.
and I kind of want to get like, I'm sure he's heard all the things that I said before, and like I want to get a better idea of like who he is and like what he has, like how he has like a hold in the crowd. And I feel like it has something to do with like his powers. I'm like trying to see, like, we ate a fruit on the way in, or like I did at least.
Mm-hmm.
Did any of them I want to try and get more of a handle on what he's about.
Okay.
And his abilities.
Just him or everybody on that side?
I don't know if I can get like a deep, in-depth look on him if I look at everybody.
Oh, okay. Go ahead and discern realities as you stare him down
the new
from afar.
dice.
Oh yeah, true. It's a D6. You can use it.
It's a D6. I can use it. What's a 5 and a 4? It's 9, and then discern reality is a plus
Plus
what's-
wisdom.
wisdom. What do I have my wisdom? I don't have my wisdom.
You do
It's a
not
9.
have your wisdom on a 9. And so now we will know, as we are on the cusp, that Basilar, your wisdom grants you a +1
Plus 1 wisdom.
at a 13 base.
Cool.
And so your 9 becomes a 10.
Yay.
And this is reflected in you inferring things almost like automatically from the things that you see. Your wisdom kind of kicks in a little bit at this moment, and what you see and what it means kind of gets translated in an instant. Now, that's 3 questions, and that's +1 on acting on the answers to those 3 questions.
Okay. So I guess what should I be on the lookout for?
There is an aura, and it's faint, and you definitely didn't see it before, but it's there, and it is similar to yours on like the rainbow spectrum, but it's definitely different. It's very purple, and it seeps from his pores and from his eyes and his fingertips, and it kind of emanates on all the parts of him that aren't covered, but it's mostly behind his eyes. And you know what you've heard about this color. The name drawn out and then slashed in the same moment. You haven't seen enough or learned enough to get like a whole bunch of information just by looking at him. But what you know is that if he does have the magic that has been talked about, there isn't one thing or one school of magic that you need to be on the lookout for. You think there might be nothing that he can't do if his will is strong enough. And right now his will is very strong in the I want to get at this guy thought. And so it's maybe like all the hairs on the back of your neck standing up, like danger. If he gets to you again, you don't know if you'll be as lucky as you were when he popped through the portal and was kind of like trying to like make a big show in front of the crowd. You know, he wasn't fully angered when he got you because he thought, okay, they're paralyzed. I'm just going to reach in, grab him, show him off to the crowd. But now that his intent is very much focused on you, don't take your eyes off of him. And if he moves, like make a quick decision.
Okay.
So when that roll happens, if it happens, you'll get a +1 on reacting to anything that he does to you.
Okay. So in that same vein, what here is not what it appears to be in regards to him. Like, is there anything hidden that I might have missed otherwise?
Look at what he's wearing. He likes to not wear any clothes. He wears any clothes on the top of his
Oh boy.
torso. He's shirtless. He wears rings and necklaces and chains around his body, but decorative chains. And you see there's something behind his back. He's mad and he's tense, so he's probably flexing a little and craning his neck. And you see like the loose material on his bottom half, it hits something rigid when he moves in certain ways. There's something concealed behind him. It looks fairly large. But as it is being concealed, you can't gain too much on it, but you know that there is likely a concealed weapon behind him. However, you did do a meticulous sweep of his house the other day and looked in every room. I'll say that you recognize, perhaps by the shape of the hilt, for this to be a well, I call it a hilt, but it's almost like a pillar, like a small sized stone pillar with a handle, and it has some what looked like diamonds imbued in it, and some carvings. You might have like mistaken it as, just something like a piece of the house that was removed during a renovation, but now you believe it to be a weapon, probably just as big as him, like hiding behind him almost at full length. And you know enough here to think that imbuing minerals and things, or diamonds and stuff like that, probably has another purpose as well.
Okay. Then for the last question, I'm going to ask, what here is useful or valuable to me?
And are you still looking at him for this answer?
I feel like I've been like looking at him and like at this point, like I've gotten like an idea of his capabilities, and I can tell that he's like rather formidable. And now I'm kind of just like glancing anywhere I can, like while still kind of darting to him, because like I know I shouldn't take my eyes off of him, but just trying to see if I can pick out anything that might be useful to me or valuable.
You hear many whispers stacked on top of each other from a voice just behind you. And as it speaks to you in these whispers, it calls you by a name that doesn't seem familiar to you. And the voice says, Humbir, you must be careful. You're being rash. And if you like kind of look, you just see the manifestation of your will, which took on the appearance of like a tribal individual with no truly defining facial features. It stands behind you, tall and ready, but the mouth doesn't move.
Okay. All right. Those are my 3 questions.
But you can still you think that like by searching for something to help you, you've like activated something.
Okay.
And while this is happening, Pequeno, you see BB step forward from her place in the back, and she walks towards Olim.
Yeah, I'm up there with Olim as well.
You're
I don't know
up
if you
there.
heard me
Okay.
earlier.
Oh, I did not.
No, yeah, I was just basically just amping him up, giving him a little massage, making sure he was standing in the proper fighting position.
Something's wrong with this one. She...
Brendan Olim?
Yes. She doesn't have the fire in her eyes.
I want to ask if I can discern realities on the lady, but I feel like we've exhausted all that. No, you know what I'll do? I'll stand close to Olim and I will consult my blade.
Ooh.
So as he says that, it's sort of like I like subconsciously maybe ask, like, what's this person's weakness, in a way,
Interesting.
or something that can potentially
Yeah.
help Olam.
Okay. Go ahead and roll plus strength.
The strength.
Yes.
Oh, that's a D20 for some reason. That is a 12.
A natty 12?
No, it was 6 and a 4 plus 2.
Hot. Describe unto me how you seek answers from the blade.
I sort of just put my hand on Olam's shoulder, and I have my hand resting on the blade. The club's like sort of on my back, we'll say. And as soon as like my hand sort of rests against the hilt of the blade, I'm looking at the woman, and there's kind of just like a flash of like those three, a suit like the from the shoulder to the blade to like my line of sight to the woman. There's like this like flash in Pekinu's mind, sort of asking the question through that like moment in time.
Wonderful. And everything within or sorry, everything not within that like triangle shape freezes over. Everything has this blue reddish mixing hue as like motions stop and like chests that are heaving slow to a stop and eyes remain open in the crowd around you. And you feel the presence of the king around your area. You don't see him, but you feel that looming, that larger than life presence around you. And it says to you, it's not about what someone's weakness is. It's about what your strengths are. Be strong enough so you don't have to worry about weakness. Rid yourself of it. And you won't have to concern about it. And you feel this like flash in you. And everything comes back, but there's a flame in your body again.
Oh. If I could sweat, I would be sweating. I think like Pekinu's body's not doing so great. He's getting like hot flashes, getting a little lightheaded. Kind of like grips maybe a little tighter on Olam's shoulder. And he goes, Olam, you'll do fine. Just fight like you know and use everything that you have, and you will win. And then just like sternly and stiffly kind of like walks back to where the others are sort of positioned in line.
You take 3 steps back, and a hand envelops itself around yours, and it's very soft and it's smaller than yours. And as soon as it touches your fur, the heat goes away. And it's this like memory almost made real to your eyes. Nobody else sees anything.
Oh, okay.
And it's someone like you, a little furred individual. They look to be of the same race if a race is what describes what you are. And she looks up at you. It's just this like ghostly figure, but it looks familiar. And familiar in the sense of perhaps family or perhaps just someone that you've known for a while. And the voice, with a very soft voice, just says, Fiogo and the others can handle this, brother. Stay with me. And you don't think that this thing is talking to you in this moment. This is a memory that's almost...
Yeah, it's like lines up in my mind as a memory of the past.
As you turn away from danger, and instead of jumping in front of your friend to help them, you retreat. You do not lean into this flame. You feel a memory come back to you, and
Thank
you
you.
feel fine. And
Yeah, I just muttered that under my breath. Feel much better. Walk back and
if you didn't already, I think you know exactly who this is.
yeah.
Now, you walk back. It's barely audible, and so maybe you can like decide before you get to the party whether you stop walking or if you continue. But you hear Bibi start talking to Olam, and she says, "Let me use your shield. I don't want to fight under these other guys, but this girl, I think I could take her." I don't think that's a good idea. If I'm going to be strong enough to travel with you, then I have to be able to fight and prove myself. You're going to make me fight one of those?
All right.
I'm like twitching in the background. Like want to turn around, but then everything that just happened. Just go back to the to the line.
And you see Olam turn his back on this person and walk over to Izindo. And they're not too hushed. The crowd kind of like quiets down. There was some like, now that people are feeling a little more confident, they're having conversation, but it quiets down a little as there's an exchange of fighters. And Olam goes, she wants to fight? She great. And
Olam, I trust your decision.
he looks up at Izindo. She'd be okay. The shield that I made her was pretty good. And Izindo takes a deep breath. I suppose it's better if I'm here that she fights. I think she could handle herself. But if anything happens, I'm stepping in. I don't care about the rules of the arena anymore. Okay, me too then. And they both take a step forward to watch closely. Come on already! Are we just going to talk all day, or are we going to fight? And he stomps his foot down. The chief.
Who's saying this?
The chief Nazu. Stomps his giant foot down.
Cheers.
Come on! And almost like reacting to this, the girl lunges forward with an attack. A quick melee, uppercut, pushes Bibi back, and then flips 2 spaces back. And reaches down in the ground, and without touching, you see sand begin to rise in columns beside her. And then these thinner wisps of sand wrap themselves around her hands. And almost immediately, Kumbo begins to run forward.
Isn't that magic? Like,
Yeah, this is against the rules.
And as soon as Kumbo runs forward, both of you, Basilar and Olam, see the chief like huge step, like anime style, one big step, rushes towards Kumbo and is about to engage in a fight.
Oh, yeah.
Can I speak to the crowd, actually?
Yeah. If that's like I'll say before anybody in the party like has a chance to react, you speak.
Bothos, look at your chief cheating in your sacred rites in full view of everyone. Already he has tarnished your culture and your sacred stone ritual, which is passed down from guardian to children. He asks for paltry trinkets when this is supposed to be something of the land and for its people. And to make matters worse, he tries to guard them against who they rightfully should be given to. And now this. Is this really the one that you wish to lead you? Really the one that you wish to see which of you? And you see, like, he's trying to get, like, getting worked up, and like he's trying to find the right words because just he's getting like emotional.
Yeah.
He's like, is this the one you wish to represent to you, Bothos, a proud people of the Ashlands? This cheater, this blasphemer.
Before there's any reaction, and obviously this is a long speech, so Chief Nazu is not standing still while this is happening.
Yeah.
He is they're beginning to fight. There's going to be a commotion, so like the rest of the party moving, it's likely going to happen during your speech. But without even knowing or meaning to, you activate your physical will in this moment. And everybody hears this speech as if it's being spoken directly to them. Like there's something in the words that makes them feel like they are the specific target of this. Like even though you're addressing the crowd, kind of like everybody looks like shell-shocked at you, as if they're like, holy shit, he's not talking to everybody. He's talking to me. They have no reason to, but that's because you, my friend, very magical.
Trying to like scan the crowds, like every now and then, like it might look like he's like looking directly into their eyes as he turns.
And even like your voice is just a little louder, and those pauses are removed in their minds. But we'll see what kind of effect this has as your words are kind of being put through this filter of this ancient figure who is assisting you in this moment of getting your magic out through your words, even if you meant not to cast a spell. And I'm going to have to ask you to roll a couple of things.
Okay.
Firstly, this will be an arcane art roll.
All right. All right, so that's an 11.
Wonderful. And the next is going to be just the classic parlay.
Parlay. I haven't done that one before.
So it's plus charisma.
All right. Well, I'm usually pretty good at those. So it's a 10.
Wonderful. I was going to shock you with giving you an advantage if you rolled badly because of your not stand, but you rolled plus 10 on both, and so you don't even require it.
A plus 3 does help.
So let's just go and have a couple of battle moves as this is happening.
Yeah.
But because of his words, you will have an additional +1 on your rolls as he is speaking while all of this is happening. So Basilar begins to speak and he addresses the crowd. Do you move at all from your position, or do you stand still?
Seeing my companions like rush forward, I'm gonna trust them to like have my back as I'm like kind of like really focusing on the crowd itself.
Wonderful. You are furthest from this, so I will ask you, Nameless. What do you do? Nazu makes his way within striking range of Kumbo. This individual seems to be prepared with some sort of magic, and these four are frozen for a moment as they did not expect an all-out fight to be had.
Okay. So I had a +1 on acting, on acting upon seeing Nazu.
Yes.
Move. I'm being very specific in my wording here.
Mm-hmm.
Can I use that +1 to help BB. I want to rush forward to this magic user, and fight. And in a sense, fight fire with fire. I think that if they're going to use magic, then I'm like, it's almost like I could drop the scimitar and run forward. Maybe not actually drop it. I'm just like,
Yeah,
well,
absolutely.
I think I say that as I run forward, just like, wow, if you want to play with fire, then we'll fight fire with fire. And I just summon up my magic.
Is that a? Are you doing the move where you summon a weapon of pure flame?
Do I want to do burning? Oh, it wasn't a scimitar. It was a spear now. That's right.
God, my fans blow my pieces.
No, I would like to. I think Zuko style as I rush forward. I think that's what I would like to use the +1 on. Also, thanks for reminding me, Simon. I didn't increase my a stat the last time we leveled up. I totally forgot. So my wisdom is actually +2 now.
Nice. Okay.
So, and this is a wisdom roll. So I think I run forward, spear behind me, just like I fire with fire, and I attempt to shoot a flame out of my hand, and I would like it to consume as this person. So
Does the +1? Does he get a +1 for that? Like from my speech for that, or just against Nazu?
Yeah, your speech as well. So +2.
Ooh, so I have a +4 to this.
Oh yeah, +2 plus wisdom. Better not roll 2 natties.
I rolled a 1 and a 2. you almost killed me. So that's a 7.
Okay.
And now I would like to use Burns Twice as Bright. When you held the Winds of Fate, you treated Mr.
You have gotten a boon, Brent.
Ooh, I got a boon?
A boon.
Charmy.
A boon.
Ooh. Well, that's for this roll, eh? So I'll re-roll the 1. Brune Brent.
Boon, Brent.
That becomes a 3 for a 5, so an 11.
Oh,
So I don't have to.
you don't even need to
I don't have
use
to
it.
use it.
Nice.
Thank you.
Okay, so it takes the shape and it does the movement for as long as it has fuel on which to burn. You're hoping that it burns up.
I named my fuel.
Yes. Tell me the shape and the movement of it.
Incredible. So as the fire like lances from my hand, I think that unlike in Avatar where it's like they put their hand out and they're creating the stream of fire and they kind of have to push it out, the fire leaps from my hand in a stream and it leaves me and envelops this person's body, and as it envelops them, I want it to take the form of chains if I can, these like flaming restraints, and because they were like rising up with these tornadoes, right?
They were just like they had like wisps of sand around their hand that were just constantly turning.
Perfect. Yeah. So what I would like to do is just get those hands back down, aim them at the floor if I can, and just wrap them in fire.
Wonderful. I will just because it's not D&D and the battle's not exactly the same, because it like if you rolled badly, something bad would happen with your fire. So your fire does exactly what you want. It's not going to burn her up yet, but it's going to like encase the sand and her arms, and you see the sand is like compacting around her hands, trying to like douse out some of this fire. So her hands are like by her side and she's actively trying to stop the fire from consuming her. But it is burning up. It's burning up on the whatever little moisture there is in the sand and stuff like that.
Absolutely. So I'm like charging towards her. I don't know if I get the whole way, but probably close enough.
Yeah, we'll see. You're like right there. As this happens, Chief Nazu, he puts his palm to the side and he just juts out towards Kumbo, and before he can get his guard up, the hand like passes through Kumbo, and you see it like get through the other side, not like puncturing a hole through him, but like passing through him and then pulling back out quickly. And you see him drop to a knee, not defeated completely, but like suddenly all the power in his legs just gives out, and he shakily tries to stand up as Nazu, he's doing something with his magic. It looks like he's moving his arms in a little fluid manner, and so there's a tiny bit of pause between that battle. And I'll say that Basilar, you are getting through your speech now. You see the crowd turn their faces from like shell shock to sort of determination of making a choice, and they're looking at everything to kind of take all the information in, and so they're very active right now in this moment, but your speech is not done yet, and so we will go to Pequeno.
Yes.
Before we get into Bikini's turn,
Yeah.
do I roll damage for the fire? Is that...
No, that was what I meant. Like, you have her, you've done what you want with the fire, but you'll have to roll something else for damage.
Okay, perfect.
Unless it was a 2-6 on the dice, then you could do movement.
Okay, that was like a
entrapment.
surprise, half
Yeah,
surprise,
yeah,
but I'm
yeah,
kind of. Okay, I see what you're doing.
So, Pequeno, as all of this breaks out, the speech starts. Pequeno looks at Olam, looks at Azundo, and then starts sprinting forward towards BB. And I imagine that they just like rush up also.
Mm-hmm.
Can I just say that?
Yes.
And so then the three of us kind of just like all like position ourselves around BB. And I go, everyone, stay together. And I like take out my sword and like stand next to her. And maybe I'll lean in close to her ear and I'll go, this is still your fight, BB.
She nods. He's into arms aflame. Hunkers himself down, ready to go. Olam prepares himself to attack as well. He's taking on more of an assistive role. He sees like you with your, you have a lot of strength, and so does Izindo. So he's not going to try and run forward with both of you. He's going to play a more supportive role from behind. Who has the bow and arrow? I think that was Olam.
We have a bow and arrow.
Okay, so it was the one that like collapses and it looks like it's just like two loose pieces, but then it snaps back together. So he pulls back his bow. So let me move you into position. Is there anything that you want to do? You can perhaps make a combined attack. So you're going to be here. She's going to be here.
Perhaps I kind of want to like, create this little defensive formation. So I don't have like any ranged attacks I can make. Potentially aid, but I don't know how that works on NPCs. I'd like to maybe this aids BB in some way.
Yeah, my little dudes don't have to roll. They're like, they respond to the story. So like whatever the response would have been, you could like, push it towards the better option.
Okay.
If things are going badly.
Okay.
But you'll have to roll to aid. You can also defend if you would like, but that's more of like a jumping in the way, redirecting an attack, something like that.
I think I'll just wait to see how it plays out. That's like we move forward, and then I'm expecting them to do something in return. So I'll play it patient.
Okay. There's this like size effect almost that happens to the king. He doesn't like double in size or anything, but he seems to be filled with vitality. And like you see now that it's like there's holes being poked through something that was covering his eyes, and so there's like this like that purple light. Now it's like shining out almost like Avatar state style, and you see that he is being consumed by his own power, and not in a negative way. as he prepares himself to attack once more, and Kumbo is still unable to defend himself. Who wants to act next?
Has Basilar done his speech?
Yes, there is a couple attacks happening. Yeah, we could say Basilar reaches the end of his speech, and the back of the rows all funnel towards the front, and there's a few people who are like starting to run down the stairs on either side. So there are people either like getting closer to the stage to potentially yell or throw things, and there's a few others that are running downstairs. You don't know where they're going, but they seem to exit the arena or exit the audience chambers or whatever of the arena.
I'm not sure what good or bad. Okay. Look at so Kumbo's just being like pummeled. What's happening?
Hold on.
Yeah.
I think my internet's crapping out.
Oh,
Yeah.
Everyone is
Kumbo,
stuttering.
do you hear,
So-
do you hear anyone?
Yeah, I hear you, but everyone's like lagging for me, which is
Hmm.
probably a very bad sign. Okay,
There's
you're
a
all better.
storm
Actually, yeah.
starting here.
If Kumbo's getting attacked, I wanna like help him out and heal him.
Ooh, okay, yeah. You can rush over. Did you get a plus?
Technically,
forgetting what your
need to rush over.
no. Okay.
I mean, if I use my arcane arts, I don't think I need to.
Yeah, true. Well, I'll say you have to move a little bit.
Well, just so that he can hear me, I guess.
Yeah,
Okay, I'll move within auditory range.
you can be like right next to the nameless one, the red.
Okay,
person,
I'm not currently in roll 20.
Oh, that's fine. You only
Okay.
move up two spaces, but you're well behind Kumbo and out of Nazu's range. And I'll ask you to roll your arcane arts.
Okie dokie. 8.
Eats. On a 7 to 9, your spell works, but you draw unwanted attention, or your magic reverberates to other targets, affecting them as well. Perhaps, unfortunately, your voice, it's embold. It's Wait, sorry. What did you roll?
8.
8. Okay, yeah. Your voice comes out, and you have the will and the intent of healing, and some of that is seeped through him into the chief as well. But the chief is at full health already.
I was gonna say,
You don't think that
thankfully, he hasn't taken any
given
damage
him
yet.
yeah, you haven't given him much at all. But you can heal. Does it have a yes 1d8 damage? I'll let you
Yeah.
roll the 1d8, please.
So that's 7.
Okay. You see your magic takes a hold on him. He doesn't seem to react to it as much as you think that he might.
I'm also going to, because I can, add on a second effect of a d4 forward to damage.
How does this come to be?
So, right now I have this like JoJo-esque stand behind me, and there's like an aura that it's like emitting, right?
Mhm.
So I feel like due to the nature of this like ritual, and that like the will is being used rather than magic, I feel like what would have been magic otherwise is this aura kind of just being, in a sense, directed by my voice and my will towards Kumbo in this case. and so like it'll kind of like suffuse him, and then as it kind of finishes like kind of going up his body, it kind of goes through his sword arm or his like weapon arm, and then it kind of like instills itself into the weapon itself, and kind of stay held. Has like a blazing aura around the weapon.
And you see that he holds it still with this weakness to him. But perhaps the power that you've given his weapon will help make up for whatever he's lost. You think that whatever's affecting him is like it won't be got rid of by healing per se. Like you know how to heal your friends enough at this point to know that like your words came out. You saw that it was so strong it even affected Nazu, but he still seems to be weakened, not damaged, but weakened somehow.
Okay, so like an enchantment potentially.
Potentially, there is an aspect of this system that we have not used yet, like status effects and stuff. So he has like a -1 to certain rolls now, and it's something that can't be like just healed with healing.
Yeah.
Pequeño, you're about to speak. I think.
What's that?
All right, never mind.
If I was, I've already forgotten.
Yeah, you see the magic user ditches whatever they were using around their hands. You don't know what purpose it was for, but they kind of like jump back and shoot it out. So they release themselves from the chains, and so your fire is like fighting with their magic, but they remove themselves physically from it, and they go to move the pillars towards them. And so the pillars are starting to kind of like the bottoms are roiling sand, picking up on one end and spitting out on the other. But BB begins to rush forward, and you see her. She like sticks her foot in the sand and starts to run up the wall vertically. And she takes the shield off of her back that Olim gave her and uses that again to push herself up. She's very small and light, so you think that like it doesn't take too much to move her body, but she is moving it with a lot of confidence and a little bit of skill. And she gets to the top of the pillar, and you see her jump down on the other side of it and kind of disappear from sight as the two pillars block you from her sight. Izindo is going to rush forward and start like pummeling at this pillar. And it's starting to, some of it's lighting on fire, and it's
around Izindo.
Who wants to go?
Seeing him punch the pillar of sand for no reason, I'm a little hesitant, so like I keep maybe glancing back at Nameless just in case he decides to lob another like blaze of fire at the woman we're chasing.
I think you see me like reaching out my hand as if I'm going to take the fire that was left behind back under my control. But I think like I meet your gaze in that moment. So you see the black mask, and my eyes are like probably dilated from like the adrenaline and the cortisol, and I'm just like, "What are you waiting for, Pequeño?"
A nod. I'm gonna dash forward towards Izindo, and I'm gonna like scoop him up by the waist, and then throw him up and try and get him like on top of the pillar, basically.
You're doing this to who?
Izundo.
Oh shit. Okay. That's going to be gosh, this is when I need an act under pressure roll.
Yeah. Let's just do an act under pressure roll.
Roll me plus strength. If this was another situation, he might just like help you do it, but you see he is consumed by his own emotions.
Yeah, no, I can kind of tell. Okay. All right, that's 9 plus 2, 11.
Pequeño, you do have a boon for
this
at some point to use. Sharmi has granted you a boon.
Okay, so I reroll the lowest one.
Thank you, Sharmi. You rolled it. Well, I don't know.
Okay. Well, I mean, it's up to you.
It can be used on.
No,
the next-
I'm just saving for later. Okay.
Yeah. Because it won't push you into another
Okay.
thing. So there's no point.
12's not like ultimate success or something.
Well, wait, you rolled a 6 on one of the dice?
On one of them, yeah.
Okay. If you want.
For like a
Already
double
quite
6.
even.
I'll give it a try.
Ooh, going for the.
It was a 4. Did it for the RNG.
So as he's like he's clawing at it and punching it and setting it on fire. So how do you like through this chaos get him to the top?
I just like forcefully like grab him, and I go, Zundo, you're wasting your time. And with all the strength in my legs, I'm just gonna like rocket him upwards, even if he doesn't really understand what's happening.
Wonderful. He puts his arms out like wings almost when they're like set ablaze. So perhaps the flames that are licking the air look kind of like wings. And he brings them up and he too disappears behind the pillar. But then the bottom of the pillar explodes and the sand crumbles as you see the woman with her arm around BB's neck and a hidden blade out by its side, and she's starting to like back up. And the rest of these individuals that have just been kind of like unsure what to do, immediately they've reacted as well, and they kind of move up to bolster her. Shit. Crow says Olum.
Oh no.
I'll say Nameless One has like, you're tuned in, you took everything in before, and you're giving yourself +1s to react to stuff. You were tuned into the crowd as well, and so everything is almost like slow motion. This chief who has made himself even more powerful has finished whatever he's doing to himself and now ready to attack the weakened Kumbo. But sorry.
Oh, what's he doing to himself?
Well, like you saw like he bolstered himself somehow, and now he's ready to fight again. He took like a short pause to consume whatever he had done, but now he's ready to get back into the fight. But there's a young BB, although she is accompanied by 3 of your party members, she is also near 4-5 enemies, quote unquote. One of which you know to be under some sort of effect. So it's like a very quick decision that you have to make right now.
I think I had already made my decision, and I think like seeing BB get taken, I hesitate for a moment, and I think that there's that feeling of like I want to have a kinship with this person, but I see Pikinu act and throw Izundo over, and I see Olin with the bow, and I hear him just like crow. But I think like the thing that I need to do is the thing that I still need to do, and I take my spear and I chuck it at Nazu. But what I'd like to be able to do is, because I still have control of that flame, I want to like chuck the spear and have the flame like envelop it so that it becomes this like flaming projectile.
Okay. That is like 2 actions in one, but because we're not in D&D, there's ways to allow it.
There are ways to allow it.
You're going to have to defy danger by acting fast in order to do this. Obviously, if you mess any part of this up, it could go badly. It could just result in nothing. But you're moving flame and weapon and trying to combine them. So
So can we say like maybe I run towards where the flame, like I almost meet my fire halfway, so that I'm able to grab it and throw it.
Yeah, okay, I like that.
All right, so I'm rushing towards the flame coming right at me. Let's see if I defy this danger. What roll is that? Okay, here it is. It's ask.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
What do I get for this?
So I believe you still get a +1 from Basilar, ongoing.
Okay.
Do
I get the +1 from having studied Nazu?
I will give you the +1 from studying Nazu as well.
Okay, so I have a 2, which is pretty good. Okay. It's not the time to gain experience. That's an 8 total.
Wonderful.
I need new dice.
You will stumble, hesitate, or flinch. So, here's what I'll do. You're about to make 2 rolls. You're going to make the control your fire roll, and then a volley roll to attack from distance.
Okay.
You can.
Since I succeeded on the fire roll earlier, it says taking the shape and movement I desire for as long as it has fuel. So wouldn't I still have control of that?
Yes, that's fair. That's a fair assessment to make. However, you did just roll a 7 or an 8 or a 9.
Yeah,
I forget which one.
I would give it, like, maybe it's like starting to stutter because the person moved away. Can I just straight up give it some of my own health?
Oh, okay, yeah, I'd like
to pay the blood price to only have to roll one thing and potentially fail one time.
Yeah, roll your damage die.
All right, that's a D8. What I get? 8.
Wait, why are you happy about that?
It's to me.
You're doing damage to yourself.
Oh, damn, that's a lot.
He really wants to take as much damage as he can.
You know what? I probably am happy. Like, my fire's doing. I think, like, the Nameless One in this moment, like, I'm controlling the fire. It's like fueling itself on me, and I'm like, yes, like, and I toss that spear. I think fully though, like, a bunch of my clothing probably burns away on an 8, revealing, like, my skin, my hued skin for all to see.
Nice.
Something I didn't necessarily want.
Okay.
Literal heat of battle. So.
Yeah, I'll say that. That's exactly what happens. And now you just have to roll your volley as the flames eat away at your skin a little, eat away at your clothes, but also begin to envelop this weapon that you prepare to throw.
Awesome. So what is this? This uses Dex, which I'm not good at. Well, because you wouldn't say I have the movement to run right up to Nazu. From where
I would let you roll another defy danger by moving quickly, and then it could be a melee attack.
That's a lot. That's a lot. Okay, so I run up to my fire. I'm like maybe over here now.
You still have the +1 from Basilar. You still have the +1 on acting on Chief Nazu.
Okay, so this is a +2 roll. Okay.
And someone watch the chat just in case there's a boom. I closed my Twitch. Maybe that helps the stuttering.
That's a 12, a dirty 12.
Nice. Okay. Describe what happens. Where do you hit him? How do you hit him?
On a dirty 12. That's interesting. I think that I would like to. Yeah, on a dirty 12, I think, like, I'm aiming, like, part of me is like, that as the fire eats away at my skin and it's burning and I feel this heat and I'm aiming the spear and I really want to hit him right in the head, and part of me feels the like almost like weakness of my muscle and knows that I won't be able to down him in this one hit. And so I think I choose something a little bit cleverer, and I aim for his leg. I think like I want to like pierce through his thigh, you know, kind of like impair the movement a little bit. And I call out as I do so, Akumbo, move!
And gladly he just like drops. Like his body already wants to drop, so he drops out of the way and hugs the ground. Straight into the meat of his thigh. Roll your damage die.
Very well. It's not going to be an 8 again.
And I don't know if there's a rule for this because you're using a weapon, but you're also using
Or the fire.
So I don't want to get rid of that.
I roll 2d8? Since I took a full 8.
Let's see. So your burning brand is only supposed to add +1 to your damage. You want 2d8?
Of course I want 2d8. I almost took out half my health in my own attack.
I will say that if you spend a couple extra seconds to command the flame to like stay and eat up whatever it can to like continuously do its damage until it is exhausted, you can do.
How about I think feeding on that idea. So I hit him with this spear, and it doesn't do the extra damage right now, but like you said, the fire starts to eat at his leg, and so maybe if I can hold concentration on this, kind of like Witch Bolt, I'll be able to get it to do the thing again next turn.
Wonderful. Okay,
awesome.
Roll your first d8.
I did 4.
4. It pierces into his leg, but there's like he was enveloped in this aura of purple, and you see that aura like take some of the hit and then break, and then it enters his leg. He's got a couple armor, so he only takes 2 damage from your 4 damage.
All right.
Reaches down at his leg and like grabs like the meat of his thigh. It's like beginning to try and like snuff out the flames, but these aren't normal flames, so it just like starts to burn his hands up as well. And Kumbo takes this opportunity to just simply roll, since he's already on the ground, roll back out of his range, and he lets out this. Now he moves his head towards you, and takes like a labored step with that leg, and starts to grab onto the hill to try and pull it out.
Yeah, I think black smoke roiling off of me, and I just have a look in my eye as I meet Nazu's gaze, just kind of like whisper to myself, "Come at me." I'm ready.
I'll ask you to roll 2d6. No plus, and just tell me what you get.
All right. Yeah. A 10. That's 2 5s.
This thing pierces his leg, and as he reacts, and as like that barrier of aura breaks, so too does the effect that he had on this individual. You were rolling to see if they escape
Concentration check
from his something similar to that, but it's like her rolling now that there's this moment of break, and on a 10 she absolutely does, drops the weapon, lets go of BB, and like there's this look of like shock and like shaking. Oh, sorry, oh shit. And she like leaps forward into her this roiling pile of sand that has fallen down, and like shapes it into a barrier in front of BB. And so I can redraw that later. But you have a moment where there's like this small wall in front of the four of you, and she turns around. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm not with them. I promise you. And she's just like looking at you, and Isilda's
Nice.
like, and he starts to like let the flames die down so he can go and approach BB.
Can I hear any like truth in your words?
You have to roll a discern reality.
That's fine. I'm wondering if I can like get inside check basically.
No, from where you are, it would take like a shift of
Okay.
attention. Here, let me get rid of this as you roll, unless you don't want to roll.
Oh, so BB's safe now.
Yeah, so for the moment, there's a wall between the enemies and her.
The fact that she dropped the knife and released BB is already a good sign in my books.
Okay. Can I fight with you? I know this is a lot to ask, but can you trust me? And she looks at you, picking you.
Prove it.
Let your actions show. If you can trust me.
Okay. And as she releases the wall to kind of regather up that sand to come behind her, these four will run forward wildly. You see that two of them are aimed at the betrayer. Two of them are going to go. They were looking to go along the other side of the wall. And so as the wall drops, they kind of end up here. And two of them will be here. And the other one steps back and... these guys, I think, have... No, I couldn't find a bow guy, but this is a bow guy. This guy goes back and he readies his bow as well. And Olam does the same, takes a couple steps back and aims at him. And as the battle continues, we will focus in on, we'll say, picking you.
All right. Two guys rush on me. Are they attacking?
They are just about to attack you.
They're just about. I will. Can I just, for the sake of symmetry here, position myself next to BB? Sure. I think I see them coming around the wall as it comes down, and I take a step closer towards BB, hold out my sword, and as soon as the first one takes a step forward, I will kind of slash out at their attacking hand. So I don't know if they're using weapons or... Actually,
yes,
yeah,
they both seem to be using melee weapons. You know, by attacking them, you open yourself up to their attacks. Just to
That's
let
fine.
you...
I mean, they're already attacking. So.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wrong screen.
Hack and slash.
Slack and Blash.
Oh, that's not very good. That's a 7.
Okay. On a 7, unless... No, there's nothing anybody can do to help you with that. On a 7 to 9, you deal your damage to the enemy, and the enemy makes an attack against you. So who are you focusing of these two?
Whichever one comes around first. It's sort of just like as soon as they come into my peripheral, kind of slash out at them.
Okay. Then it'll be this fella over here. Go ahead and roll your damage dice, and I will roll theirs.
That is a 4. But I believe I also have. I don't know what precise means, and it says +2 piercing. So okay, I guess that's if they have armor.
Oh, no, it's plus like, well, yeah, it's +2 damage, but then it's also piercing damage. So what did you get on your D12?
It was 4 damage and then 2 piercing damage.
Okay, so you do 6 damage, and this guy, like, he catches you right under the armpit as your arm is extended, but he needs to position himself closer to do so, and so he opens up himself fully to your attack. How do you take him out in one hit?
But I don't have to roll.
No, your 4 and 6 was enough damage.
Shoot. Okay. Yeah, I cut out at his arm that's like holding the weapon.
Mm-hmm.
And then as he gets close, I just sort of like slide it. He came under one of my armpits, and now I'm gonna like stick my blade up into his other armpit, basically, like the opposite arm. So, like slash it like the forearm, and then up into the armpit.
There.
So you're hugging.
Yeah, we're both hugging, and he just like crumples, and I'll drop him down.
His blade stays stuck under your armpit. You take 6 damage from this. Okay. Not piercing any armor that you might have.
Nice.
And as you like hold him, and he like slumps, lets out his last breath, and drops to the ground. And as you are like dealing with this sudden victory, you feel a stabbing pain in your side from the other guy. This blade is longer and sharper, and it slices through the fur into your meat for another 6 damage. I rolled 2d6 and I rolled 6 on both. I'm so sorry.
Okay. No, that's okay. That's okay. I look back over my shoulder at BB and the others. I'm fine. And I turn back.
Just put a flesh wound.
And I don't know how this guy came, like on what side he came over me, but can I like try and bring my arm around his head and like lock him in under one arm?
The dead guy?
No, the other guy that's attacking me.
You want to... Sorry, repeat that?
So the second guy that's just stabbed me, as he's stabbing me, I just want to bring my arm over his head and like lock him in a chokehold. Like just keep him where he is after stabbing me.
So that's going to be another roll, if you don't mind, my good sir. You can do so. Mm-hmm. You can do so while defying danger, as he's like immediately locked into combat with you with a sharp blade, and you're making yourself go closer to him, opening yourself up to him a little bit to get that arm around his head. Okay. Unsure how he might respond.
All right. Defy danger. Is this strength? Because I'm trying to grapple him.
Do you want to try and like power through the attack, or do you want to move quickly?
I'm powering through the attack, yeah. I mean, I imagine I've already been stabbed, so I'm just like, I'll take it, the rest of it. Yeah. Okay, that is 7-9.
Okay. On a 7 to 9, you stumble, hesitate, or flinch. I can offer you a worse outcome, hard bargain, or ugly choice. So it's one of those moments, like in that boxing anime. Like you're about to throw a punch, and then like you see the response getting ready. You see the counter, and like it's almost like instinct. You haven't fought that much, but this instinct like comes over you of like, oh shit, I'm gonna get hit again by doing this. So you can either kind of like drop your arm to like, get out of the way of his response attack and take no damage, or I'm gonna roll another d6 of damage. But then afterward, you will have him in a chokehold.
I wish you didn't tell me that I would just straight up not take any damage. What the heck?
Gotta be honest with you.
No. I'll commit. I kind of, I'm there. I see the response coming, and I go, I'll take the response. But as soon as that comes in, I'm going to take that opportunity to try and
Wonderful.
stick him.
You got a lot of HP, but 3 6s would be bad on anybody. So let's hope it's not.
Come on, man.
That's a 2. 2 damage.
That's
Yeah,
a
he
one.
kind of just like, it's a quick slash out, pull back, just rips at your fur, doesn't get too deep in. A little, not a flesh wound this time. Is Simon gone, or am I about to leave?
No, we just lost.
Simon just. Oh,
Okay,
I think
okay.
he's reloading. Yeah, he's reloading.
No problem.
Yeah. Yeah, just to wrap up. Yeah, I see. He's good. Yeah.
We have him by a chokehold. As this is happening, the other two are slashing out. They're kind of like forming an X with each other's blades and then slashing out at this magic user. She throws her hand up. She tries to get the sand up in time, but it doesn't look like it's going to make it. So unless anybody has something they want to do, she is going to take 2 damage rolls from these two.
I'm engaged with Nazu, so I don't even know that I see this.
Wonderful. There are 2 other characters here, however, Izinda and Bibi, and though they will attempt to help her. So I will roll for them, just roll 2 dice. The first one is a 7 from Izinda. And the next one is a 9 from Bibi. So they are both attempting to... We're going to say he's attempting to protect. She's attempting to aid. So her aid comes through the form of, you see this like just flash, and we'll say Nameless One doesn't actually see this because of what you just said. But the rest of you, you see this like out of control fire just come out of her as she like shoots her hands out. Not even in any sort of like defensive or offensive maneuver. They kind of just like jut out, and this fire that's like eating at like the oxygen in the air around her, just like exploding, and it goes towards all 3 of them, including this potential ally that you have. And Izinda moves from trying to help this nameless woman. I can't use that because we already have a nameless character. This unknown woman to trying to bring Bibi's fire into itself to keep it controlled, and so they are not able to help the woman, and so she takes a lot of damage. It cuts through both of her forearms, and you see blood starts to spill out, and she stumbles backwards and falls on her butt. And that is when Olim takes that opportunity of exactly when she's dropping to loose an arrow and hopefully try and take one of these guys out. Shadim texted me some rolls that he did just in case his character would have to roll.
Incredible.
So let us go ahead. The first roll is a 7. And since this is volley, that is going to be plus dex. And so Olim gets a +1. So that is an 8. So he does his damage, which is luckily a pretty good damage die. And he takes this guy out right in between the eyes. That arrow just like pierces whatever like the softest spot is, like on the skull near the eyes, maybe like angled through an eye into the brain.
It's all like bone.
And it sticks out, and he just drops. His body flops to the ground. And the other guy goes and he readies another attack. on this person who has just fallen in front of him. So any one of you can act, but at the same time, Chief Nazu hunkers himself down and begins. It's that same one-step charge with his hands behind his back, and you know that he has something concealed behind there.
Yeah,
as you have already known. So I'll say Basilar. What do you? Not Basilar. Nameless One. What do you do?
if I can, yeah, I want to essentially try and deal that damage to him in his leg. Kind of just like reach forward with my power on the fire that's burning there, and literally just like almost like a tourniquet, right, where it's getting like tighter and just like, eating into his flesh.
Now, do you want to do that? Just do it, but he charges at you and he does what he's trying to do, or do you want to try and like move out of the way, or position yourself to not take the attack?
I'm right next to one of his minions. I'm thinking that what I really would like to do is just do this and just put this guy in the way.
Okay. Defy danger through moving quickly would be the roll.
Okay.
You have to time. If you move too fast, he's not going to pummel through this guy. But if you move at just like the right time where he changes his direction and doesn't notice that it's right in the same path as his ally, this guy is probably done for.
Right. So I go to
try. I want to try and like. I'm not doing this purposely to distract Nazu, but like I wanted to talk to Nazu anyways. So I'm not sure if like by me addressing him, he might get like distracted and give Nameless One.
I like that.
I was about to say, Basilar, back me up. So I didn't even need to say it.
Yeah, because I didn't want to like call out to him.
So I'll say, roll yours first, just in case the help won't do anything.
Okay. What is the help roll?
The help roll is an aid roll. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's plus
roll
bond.
Plus bond.
But we'll have the Nameless One say it first, just in case. Like if he gets a 2, your aid
mod 10. So.
Okay.
I rolled the 10.
Oh. Okay. He doesn't stop when you say his name, but his head turns towards you, almost like you've made it turn. Like his eyes stay on the other guy, and all of a sudden his head is like moved, and then his eyes meet up at you with like this confused look. What were you about to say?
Oh, because I do actually want to talk to him. Like it was like just a coincidence, I suppose. That, like I do want to actually say something to him.
So as he's like running, you say this, and he's like, ah. But his body is still in motion, and he's consumed with this power and with this rage. So he doesn't stop running. But the last time he saw you, you were standing there, and when he looks back, he changes and he goes to grab onto you, and his feet kind of slip out under him. And he doesn't just fall on the guy, but he falls with like the motion of his hands attempting to strike, and he just squashes his ally, and the guy explodes with this purple magic. And Chief Nazu's like on the ground, hands like this on the ground next to him. And he looks up at you as you are addressing him, Basilar.
Okay. Why? Why is it that you've done these things? What fuels this desire for gold that so stands against everything that the Ashlandians stand for?
You yell at him. Bikini's like wrestling. This girl's arms are up. Izindo and Bibi are all trying to help, but almost the true battle happens here in this moment. I'm going to ask you to roll. You're now noticing that like your words alone, without the attempt of doing anything, have power. And I think it comes over you as like you saw, his head turn, he falls to the floor, he's enraged, but like his eyes are locked on with you, and he begins to open his mouth to answer you. Like you almost realize the potential behind someone with your title. You don't have to cast spells. You just have to speak from your heart, and your words themselves carry with them not just power, but magic behind them. And so when you ask him this question, you are almost forcing it out of him. And so I will ask you to roll with your magical abilities
Cool.
score.
That's a 12.
Oh my
Plus
god.
3 for 15.
Wait, 2 6s?
2 6s plus 3.
He like grasping onto the remains of his ally, and it's not like gory or anything. It's almost like Voldemort at the end of the Harry Potter series, where he just like bursts, and so he grabs onto like the charred, kind of like purplish remains of his ally, and he grabs it tight, and he like his eyes roll in the back of his head, and all of his allies like come to a stop. And Pequeno, the one that you're like holding, he was obviously trying to fight off of you, and he stops as well. So everyone who is not you guys, Izindo, Aditya Kumbo, BB, and the unnamed one, you are all still able to move, but everyone allied to him stops.
Squeeze tighter.
And I will also move him as well. Do you want to kill this person?
No, I don't want to kill him.
Okay.
I'm just holding
You
him
feel
there.
that
Like
you could.
as soon as he gives me like a little bit of leeway, like I get in such like a deep grip that he's like I don't know how to explain it. He's just stuck there,
You're trying to make him pass out.
Yeah. No, well, maybe, yeah.
So,
I was getting him really close, like you wanted this, huh? You wanted this.
So what was the wording of your question again, Basilar?
So I'm asking him why he's doing this. What has influenced him to kind of go against this like very like historical ancient practice, this rite of the Ashlands of kind of passing down the crystals and like having it be like a rite of passage. Now suddenly he's just enamored with gold, and he's gatekeeping these stones without, and like he's not giving them without some sort of like incentive to himself. It's no longer like a ritual but a transaction. And like what is like what's behind this? What has caused them to start doing this?
He stays like on the ground, and you see he's like holding this power that he's using over his allies to kind of like take control over them and have them stop. I was betrayed by these lands. I was once someone of power, someone who meant something to the world. But they spat me out. They banished me. For what? Seeking more power. Isn't that what we all want? I just found a quicker route. And now here I am, in the slums of the Ashlands. Of course I'm going to grab onto whatever power I can get my hands on. And you show up. And he like points directly at you so that you know that he doesn't mean your party. You make a mockery of me in my own town. Not once, but twice. No, I don't care about anything anymore. I just want you to pay. Screw culture and practices. I just want your blood. and all of his allies like turn towards you, except for the one that is being held by Vikingu. And he starts to stand up, and now he like takes the spear out of his side and brandishes it. I will leave it to whoever wants to act first.
I'll just see everyone's head slowly shift, the whole like tone, like all the focus is on Basilar. Okay, now this guy wants to die. So I'll go ahead and I'll stab him. And I'll just stab him.
Okay. To be fair, you can roll to an attack roll.
Okay.
You'll see why. I would give this to you. You can roll with advantage. So roll 3d6 and pick the best two. And add your strength, obviously.
Okay.
Do you have any other pluses? Basilar's plus is still affecting you.
Oh, I haven't been doing that at all.
Oh.
That's right. I'll do it now.
Hey.
I thought that was just for nameless, my bad. Okay, so with advantage, it's a 6 and a 1. Let me re-roll the 1. It's a 3. So 9 plus 2, 11.
Very nice. Now, hold on. This guy didn't take damage from you yet. So you could potentially kill him in one hit, but you're going to have to roll your damage as his body starts to dissipate away. But you have him by the neck and you're hitting him in the head. And so it hasn't reached up yet. But he's starting to like suddenly not be there anymore. But you've taken this moment to get an attack in.
Okay. Yes.
That's a D12, I believe. You know that you mashed the other guy on a 4. So on
That
a
is
4 or higher, you should be good.
It's a 12.
Damn.
It's a 12.
I mean, it's not a complicated maneuver to do, but you almost like pause for a second as you see what's going on, and as like his body just seems to disappear and it gets to his head, you stab through it downwards into whatever the effect was that was consuming him, and you see Nazu get like stabbed from your weapon as well. So the extra damage will carry over. This guy had 6 HP, and so Nazu will take 6 damage himself. And this is piercing, I believe.
2 of it is
or
piercing.
2 of it is piercing. So what's the fairest way to say that? So it'll be 4. Oh, wait, no, you rolled a 12. You rolled a 12,
so yeah, 12
plus 2.
plus 2 piercing. Yeah.
Oh, so he takes
8.
So he takes 8 damage. Minus 2 for the armor, so 6. Oh, wonderful. You get him like right next to the spine, and his whole body like seizes up as the rest of these warriors are consumed by this same effect. And in that same way where that like portal opened around you, they sort of just like step into the spaces around you, Basilar, and you find yourself surrounded by the remaining foes. But I will remind you, you do have a stand. I need to find the actual word for it. We're not going to do the whole box thing ever again. You're the manifestation of your will. This guy's dead as well.
I have a William.
Your William remains by your side. But you are faced with 3 attacks. Obviously, your friends all kind of like turn, but they have the upper hand in this moment. So it is only on to you to act.
Great. All right.
All right, just interject. Did Nazu take the damage earlier from my fire being in him, in his leg?
Oh, yes. Sorry. Yeah. Roll your
It was a
D8,
6.
I believe it is, right? D6.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It was a D8. He got 6 damage.
Okay. Perfect.
I dragged that dice onto the field, and it looks like it made a little. Yeah, you can like drag dice.
Oh, that's what the 6 is.
Yeah, sorry.
It's okay. It's only okay. Yeah, there it's gone. That's interesting.
Yeah, neat little detail.
Okay. Yeah, he seizes up the fire on his leg. He does not look well, the chief. You could even say he looks bloody. But Basilar, you're faced with 3 armed combatants, and they all seek to strike at you. And you see they're kind of like they take a formation, and they go and hit low, hit medium, and hit high from different angles. So what do you do?
Because I feel like I want to try and parlay
Ooh, okay.
against these like individuals, because I feel like I've seen them being controlled by his magic. So, but like the nameless woman, like there was a certain like amount of hold they had on them, and then it can be broken.
Yes.
So like he's gonna try and in like just out of desperation, because like seeing all this happening, be like, okay, this might not be good for me. He's gonna try and just reach into that little bit that's still themselves to see if that little bit can take control of their bodies and minds, or like kind of come back to the forefront.
Would you like to parlay, or would you like to weave a performance to shake their mind clear of an enchantment?
I mean, I don't know which ones, because like I'm not giving them anything they need or want. So I guess I'm gonna try and change, like see if they can get over an enchantment. Because I'm just not sure if it's an enchantment or not. So I'm
I wouldn't offer it to
speaking to
you.
them.
I'm being fair in this moment. Like that will work. Otherwise, I might just say like parlay, but
Yeah, but like
definitely work.
I'm just trying with them to talk to them in general, and just to see if I can get through to them and past whatever hold the chief has on them.
Wonderful.
So that's going to be my attempt. So I'm gonna like
Attempt?
look at all 3 of them, I guess.
Oh, fuck.
Right? Like
He's gone.
look around and behind me, I suppose.
Sure, he'll be right back. Hey, there he is.
And can just be like, look, I'm not sure what hold he has on you, if you want to be doing this or not. But think for yourselves. Do you truly want to be under somebody who cares so little for your lives? Like your friend over there, like I'm gonna point to like just the pile of ash that he like just like so blatantly disregarded. Look at what concern or care he has for his supposed like party. And this is the man that you choose to support? I believe you all to be proud citizens of Bothos. Stand with your people, not with someone who turns against them in their time of need. And I'll see.
That was hot.
An 8.
Okay. An 8.
Oh, but I do have the boon, because it was changed to me.
Yep, you got a boom.
So that was a 1, and then I re-rolled a 1. So same thing. It's still an 8. Thank you, regardless, Charmy. I appreciate it.
Okay, your
Could have been better, but
spell.
it wasn't.
Okay. So, do you want to use? Can you use 2 effects, or is that only on a 10?
I can use 2 effects in general, is if they actually take into like account. It specifically says your arcane arts is strong, allowing you to choose 2 effects instead of 1.
Yeah.
That's all it is. So like, and on a 7 to 9, your spell still works. So it's still working, these effects. It's just not exactly as I intended them.
Yes. This is what I'm gonna say. First of all, you can choose. You can choose the same. Do I want to say that? I feel like I didn't want to say that last time. One of their minds can be completely shaken free. The other one you can give another effect to, and we can we'll flavor it to fit the situation. So what do you want the other effect to be if you choose to do
I
it?
think this is just gonna be like a distraction of some sort, kind of like, because like the other effects are like healing, give aid to, or forward damage. I don't want to forward damage to them to deal
to
against
do
me.
to you.
I don't want to heal them per se. So like all I'm looking for is like A, to try and clear their minds of an enchantment, and B, to like distract them from like getting a hit on me.
Okay.
Just to kind of give them that moment pause and hesitation.
So since your move and your magic is confined to these options, we'll in battle will honor it. However, you will target somebody to be assisted, and so they're kind of like imbued with this like assistive magic, which can
Like
be felt.
assist them to then defy the control he has on them.
Yeah. One of them will just hit you. The other one will absolutely not hit you. And the other one will attempt to fight it off. We'll do a 7 to 9. He doesn't attack you, but he's not fully released, so he kind of like potentially danger in another turn. On a 10 plus, he will be shaken free of it, and then on a 6 or lower, we'll see. That is a 10.
Oh, shit.
So while the other guy seems to just be like dropped out of this one seems to like in his head he has this battle between what he wants to do inside and what he's being told to do. And in that way, he just physically shakes it off and just grabs onto his own head, trying to push the chief out of it. You know that these are allies to the chief, so it's not like they like immediately go into like shake your hands, but nobody likes to be taken fully control of, no matter how much of an ally, if it is not willing. So they seem to be not attacking in the moment, and with no will to attack you, as they're shaking off this full control and body displacement that happened to them without their desire. However, this last guy, let's say you have your back to him, and so he goes and just takes a wide slash at the biggest part of your back, and he only does 2 damage.
Okay.
So like he sees his allies like shake free and not do the full formation, and so it kind of like hesitates a little and just nicks you in the back. But that was a 7 to 9 roll, and so we cannot give it a 10 plus effect. As this happens, the chief takes the opportunity to bulldoze past his dead ally. Actually, he was already here because he slammed on this guy. So he runs past Basilar and he goes and just grabs onto you like almost like your whole body with one hand, grabbing onto like your clothes tight enough where like it kind of like lifts you up, and he stares at you with deadly intent, and like the fear of King Bear himself is instilled within you, but his back is turned to your allies.
Can I say something as he picks me up?
Yeah.
So, this is what a great and powerful person like yourself has come to, picking on the newborn.
Enough! He puts his hand over your mouth. I've let you speak for long enough. And he goes to lift you up, and now the rest of you can do something.
Bikini, I think I
Nameless.
turn back to you, and I do the kind of thing where you put your hands out, like I'm gonna boost you.
Oh. Hell yeah. Oh, you're right behind me.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, perfect. I see you do that. Start running towards you.
I know otherwise he might have been a little bit far to get a melee hit in, but I want to be able to kind of throw him on top of Nazu.
So sorry, you don't take 2 damage, Simon. This person was like disguised as one of the enemies, but it was actually the ally being taken control of. So there was only 2 people available to jump onto you. So you dispatched of them, so you didn't take any damage. But because you rolled a 7 to 9, he was able to run up to you.
Okay.
Damn.
Fair enough. Thank you.
Yes. So as you know, the unknown woman was pretty badly injured, and so not to leave someone who presented themselves as an ally to bleed out, Izindo begins to use his fire magic to try and cauterize the wounds and perhaps heal her in some way. You don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But BB looks ready to run with you, Pequeno. You can go forward with your moves.
I maybe I see her in the corner of my eye, and I don't kind of. Pequeno's a little bit like on the fence about her fighting. You know, he's kind of letting it happen.
Mm-hmm.
So he just tries to like ignore, maybe discourage her even by just running faster than her, and then jumping off the boost that Nameless gives me. And maybe I'll like point out because he's probably looking at me as he gets ready for the boost, and I'll point in the direction of Chief Nazu so he knows like which direction to sort of push me towards. And I will try and leap at his head or something.
Amazing. So how are we going to do you want this to be a attack roll and an aid roll? Or is there something spicier that you'd like to try?
Spicy. Can I decapitate him?
Always going spicy, but I think this one is going to be vanilla. I don't want to get an ulcer.
Wonderful.
Yeah. So it's just aid.
So do your hack and slash first. Unless you want to volley your own body.
What? Me? I'm the projectile?
I think I'm
you.
trying to aid him to just get him to have the movement to get there because he's a little bit far and I'm kind of in the way. So I think I don't know.
Oh no, sorry, yeah. Pequeno is gonna roll his attack first.
Yeah.
And then, if he rolls a 12, I won't make you roll to aid, you will just aid him and you can describe it. But if he's on the cusp, then you can roll your aid. Just not to waste a roll.
Can I actually defend?
Oh.
I would like to open up. Oh no, it has to be specifically be an attacker.
He's attacking Basilar.
He is attacking Basilar.
Okay, I thought it was okay. All right. I thought it was like a reaction, like somebody's attacking and then you defend.
No, yeah, he is in the process of attacking him. So
I guess
react to that.
He's got him in the claw grip.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so I'd like to open up the attacker to an ally, giving the ally +1 forward against the attacker. And essentially, I'm just, instead of like attacking him, when I jump on him, I'm going to grab onto his head and upper body and just be a nuisance.
Okay. Go
we
ahead,
go.
sir.
That's a
Plus con.
con. 9.
Ooh, hold 1, my friend, unless you become aided by the nameless one. Now,
Wait,
Wait. Did you add the +1 from Basilar's speech earlier?
is that
Oh
still
no, I did
a
not.
thing?
I did not.
10. That's 10. Still
just for the drama, because his mouth is covered, we'll say.
Oh.
I was gonna say, like, is that still
That's
technically?
good. That's good. I love that.
Shut up! Because like every time he used it, it was like multiple sentences and stuff. And he's like, "I love talking."
And
all I
like
can
pretty
do.
effective too, you know.
Incredible. So I rolled a 9, and then I had a +1 acting against Nazu.
Yes,
So
you did.
that would be a 10.
Amazing. On a hit, you take +1 or -2. Do you want a -2?
What?
8 or interfere. So no, I'll give him the +1.
Wonderful. So on your 10, you get to hold 3.
3.
So you choose your first as you sail in the air towards him, and you feel a hand on your back, gripping onto the the fur.
Oh, he's just grabbing me.
But no, it's not the nameless one. It's a smaller hand. As you are soaring in the air, you feel a little hand grab onto your fur.
No, no. Just riding. Grab onto his head.
Right.
I'll open him up. That'll be my first one. I'll open him up to an attack. Giving +1 forward. So I'm just like a wild animal on his head, scratching at his eyes.
You got 2 holds.
Huh?
You have 3 holds total, so.
But I can hold them, right? I don't have to use them right away.
I will say that, like, because he's in the process of attacking Basilar, like, Basilar can't attack him first.
I see.
So, like, this attack will have to come to completion. Because of, like, the lack of initiative, it's always, like, attack is happening, you guys react, and then depending on what happens. So, if you don't react to, like, stop it or redirect it, it'll still happen. But then
Okay,
get
so
the +4
all right, I understand. Yeah, so I'll redirect the attack to myself in that case. Maybe distract him enough that, like, even though he's holding Basilar, he kind of tries to deal with me.
Yeah. The specific option is have the attack's effect or damage.
Well, that's one of the options, right?
Yeah, I don't see a redirect to yourself.
The one right
first
before that. It should be on my list.
Yeah, redirect
like
an attack
options?
from the thing you defend to yourself.
What? I don't have that option.
Oh.
You only have 3 options?
Deal damage to the attacker equal to your level.
Yeah.
+1 forward against the attacker. Open up the attacker to an ally, giving them that, and have the attack's effect or damage. Yeah, so I guess I only have 3, and one's 2 life.
Oh,
weird.
Yeah, redirect an attack from the thing you defend to yourself is the first option.
Oh,
so he's like lifting him up over his hand. So his hand's already back here.
Can I kick him in the face?
Land behind. Yeah, Basilar gets a kick out and like loosens his grip enough where he kind of reaches back to deal with you. And now he just has that like one hand on your face. But it's not strong enough. Like it's not strong enough to like actually hold you, but he just still has his hand there. But yeah, you kick out. Do you want the kick to be an attack, or do you just want to use this as a way to like kick off and get out?
I'm gonna use it to kick off because I don't think I can do any damage to this man. Like I have like a 0 strength.
Okay, you kick off. You redirect the attack to yourself, and so with his hand fully extended behind him, he's gonna try and smash you down into the ground.
Okay.
In front of him. So now
Me?
you, Pequeno. So he's redirected
grab
the
and, like,
slam to himself. So now you are being slammed down. You
Being
still have
slammed.
you still have your 2 to hold. You've redirected the attack. Would you like to use another hold, or do you want to take the full brunt of the
I'll
slam?
use the hold. I'll sort of spin myself in a way where even though I'm being slammed, I'm maybe trying to like drag him down with me. So that would open up to either Basilar or BB to retaliate.
Wonderful. He's going to roll his damn damage. He rolled a 1.
Ooh, oh, that looked bad for a second.
That's a heavy dice.
So in total, it is a heavy dice. So it's 4 damage total. You're gonna half it, so you only take 2.
Oh, okay.
And by opening up the attacker, you've also inadvertently opened up him to an attack from BB. I will say she doesn't get your +1, but she gets to, like, in the fluid motion of being pulled down with him, use her shield with like the metal kind of on the inside and leather on the outside to slam it down into like the soft part between his skull and his neck.
Damn.
Bash downwards. So what's your damage die, Brent? It's D6, right?
D8.
She does no damage to him, as he has armor.
Thick
skin. But he is left open to Basilar if you wish. Now we know that Basilar has other abilities than kicking and punching, but he is opened up to some sort of effect from you, we'll say.
I want to see if it's possible to use this like force of will in a more kind of like, I guess, physical manner. So like see if I can use it to like physically damage rather than like try and convince him of things. I'm not sure if there's like any kind of like physical like exertion it can have that can happen with it. So
you think of this, and your William cracks his neck and steps in front of you and goes for an attack.
Yeah.
So we will say you can roll with what you've usually been using, which I believe is plus charisma.
Yeah.
To make a hack and slash attack.
So it's an 11.
What is your damage die? You can go ahead and
D6
and roll that, and he'll give it a +2.
D6. 6. +2.
6 without the +2, so 8. So 6 damage.
6 plus
Nazu.
2. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
and
yeah,
then
the
-2
armor,
from his
yeah.
armor. Yeah. Nazu drops to both knees. His eyes still full of fire. He does not look to Pequeno, does not look to BB or Basilar. He only looks at you. And bleeding from the mouth and from the fucking eyes, and his arms are like heavy and starting to fall to his side. He says, "You think this is the end? I'll be back. No death can make me forget you. But I'm not done yet." And he goes out for like a last ditch, just both arms. He's gonna like fall flat on his face if he misses this. So he just throws his body in both his arms.
Can I do something?
To do something to you. So you absolutely can.
Am I
You
still
do still have your flames.
I do have the flames, and I think he fully has his back to me and is not paying attention in a second. And I just want to grab him by the back of the head, by like his hair, to prevent him from going forward. And I want to say, you'll wish that you could forget this. And then I just want to fucking burn. I want to incinerate his head.
God damn.
Okay. I think there's a roll.
Brutal.
Damage? No, that's not it.
I mean, if you
don't
let
just
the
have
Zuko
a-
style keep consuming him, I just like I'll have it like
Oh
run up.
yeah.
Yeah, right. Just right into like essentially Zahir style in Korra, where he like draws the air out. I'm just shoving the fire in.
Wonderful. Okay. Roll. We'll say roll your Zuko style to both move it and have it cause damage in this.
Yes.
one.
Yeah. All right. So it's going to be +2, +2, so +4 total. Yeah, that's 12.
Roll your damage die just in case. Just in case. But if you roll a 4 or higher,
So scared.
which actually there's
I'm so scared. That's a 50% chance. 8.
He did it. He did it.
Finish him, my friend.
Yeah, Mortal. If I could finish him, Mortal Kombat style, grab him from the back. You'll wish you could forget this, and incinerate his face. So that, like again, like the skin's melting, but I want to essentially decapitate him so that I lift his head off his body.
The body crumbles to the ground. There's not even any blood as your fire like instantly just like cauterizes everything. And the head comes off the body. And that purple escapes from the mouth, escapes from the neck, both the neck of the head and the neck of the body. And it glows bright. You realize like he's about to like explode. And I think the nameless one is the only one who could do something right now.
Ooh, if I'm the only one who could do something, it's this light that's leaking out that's going to explode.
Yeah. Like
I'm going to take a page out of Pekinu's book. I would like to defend, and what I'm going to try to do is ideally redirect this.
Okay. Go ahead and defend.
All right. Sweet. So that's with Constitution, which I am good at. And I didn't know there was a skill you could use. We were talking about all this. That's another +4 to this roll, which is insane for this system. It's big. It's a 2 on one, but that's a 3 on the other, so that's a 9 total.
Okay. Hold 1. However, I will allow somebody, if they can think of something that they can do to aid this roll, to do it. It would likely be Basilar, as Peking is more like physical based.
Okay. I
Yeah,
don't
I
think
think-
this is an enchantment of any kind.
You see me with the essentially a flaming skull with a bit of hair attached to it, and I think in this moment, what I'm trying to do is with my magic, grab that mist, and I'm shoving it all in the head. Is what I'm trying to do. So this is like you see me kind of like trying to focus everything here.
Can I grab whatever he wasn't able to get and like dissipate it?
Grab.
Well, like not grab. I mean, like whatever he hasn't been able to like recuperate in his own action.
Mhm.
I want to try and see if I can just like dissipate the rest that's still left over.
I think you go to try, and your William puts himself in front of you to shield you, as if like this is all I can do is protect you against this. You don't feel your magic has a like this like conveys to you your magic won't have like a hold on it in this moment. However, there is somebody who can, and somebody who is right in the face of Chief Nazu, BB. And you see she goes and mimics your movement and starts to bend light as if it's fire, so that once the explosion does happen, it happens and it's this like contained chaos. And you can do kind of whatever you want with the head. She's not, you feel that she's not as powerful to actually do anything with it, but she's at least keeping it from exploding out. But it's taking a lot out of her, and she's like fully extended out and moving her hands. And there's like this like these like shock waves of wind that are coming off as it's like trying to explode. And Izindo is like stepping forward as this is happening, and the shock waves are like starting to blow you back. You have the head dealt with, but like his huge body, that explosion is going to burst.
Throw it up, BB.
Yeah.
Throw it up into the sky.
I think what I'm trying to do, so I have the head, they're helping me, all of this magic fire swirling around, and the body is like, it's the body itself that's gonna like blow up essentially.
It's like the shape of the body in the magic that was like so immensely contained within it.
Yeah. So the body,
Like a
like
body
it's not really
shape.
about this body anymore. It's about
No.
this mist that came out. So
Yeah.
I think what I want to do is slam, like they've created this vortex, and I'm going to slam the skull down in the middle, but with the neck pointing up, and just release everything. And ideally try to help redirect this burst of whatever he was trying to do skyward, into like a kind of like a pillar of energy.
Okay. There's going to be 3 people trying to help you, not in the party, as our party members see themselves a little out of their wits in the moment. BB's attempting to help. Where did I see she has? That's a 4. She does not help her. You see her like her hands start to like get eaten up by this light, and it like starts to burn away at the tips. Izindo plants his feet in the ground and just like sends a wave of fire that is directed upwards to kind of like guide the explosion to be eaten up by it and go up. So he gives you a +1. And the magic user very weakly throws a hand up and tries to like provide some cover with sand. And it does work. And so you have 2 +1s, and you can roll either Zuko style or defy danger, or something else that you have unlocked.
I'm doing defy danger. Well, wait, hold on. This was for defend, right? Because I'm trying to get the holds so that I can redirect.
I think this actually might just be Zuko style, because you are trying to like direct. You're not trying to stop the explosion. You're just trying to direct it, and that is like bending it to your will.
Okay. So then it's Zuko style. So the roll I had gotten was 9, which means that plus the +2 is 11.
Wonderful. And I think in that moment where the explosion happens, BB's hands are out, and her hands are starting to get consumed. There's a last-ditch blast of like a sand wall to cover maybe like the bottom half of everybody that's in the area. And Isindo just throws out this fire that is directed upwards. You throw this down, and you are like almost in the middle of the flames as you have to like reach in with the skull and press downwards. And that is where we will end our session.
Damn.
Yo, Chief
That's my
Nazoo.
And the end of Chief Nazoo. We can worry about bonds next time because we're running late. So we'll just do the regular experience, and then I'll make a mark to do bonds next time. Did we learn something new and important about the world?
Yes.
Oh, learned a bit about Chief Nazoo.
Wonderful. Did we overcome a noble monster or enemy?
Chief Nazoo?
Yes, you did. Did we loot a memorable treasure?
Chief
No.
Nazoo.
Not yet. We might.
I got
Not
his
yet.
skull, guys.
So that is 2 experience plus another 2 experience from getting rid of specifically Chief Nazoo.
Oh,
We will see after why,
okay.
but it is a very important and special kill.
Okay.
You won't be able to level up anyway, so I will just give it to you now so I don't forget next week.
Mhm. Sure.
And speaking of next, what's coming up next for the Hex? What are we doing on Thursday?
It's that Agleron.
Hey,
That Agleron.
That Agleron.
So, if you prefer a little slice of life, a little high school drama with
Oh, just
a lot
much.
of battle, a lot of role play, and a lot of learning, tune in on Thursday. Or if you just want to see these faces again, that's a good enough reason. Otherwise, you can find us on YouTube, where we post all of our VODs, on Twitch, on Twitter, on Facebook, Instagram, all the good places. Come by our Discord in case we miss anything, or in case you just miss us on a random Wednesday afternoon. But until next time, we are Hexagon. We are Hexagon, and you are trash. Okay?